All right, let's dive straight into how autonomous AI agents actually manage the sheer volume of information they need to function. If you've ever found yourself wondering why an AI can execute a perfectly complex task 1 minute, but then completely forget a super crucial instruction the very next, well, you are definitely in the right place. Today, we're breaking down the architecture of an agent's mind and looking into why simply having a bigger brain doesn't necessarily mean it has a better memory.
To really get how an agent thinks, we have to visualize its working memory. I want you to imagine a physical desk. Now, this desk has a fixed, completely unchangeable surface area. That physical boundary, the actual edges of the desk, represents the model's context window. So, honestly, it doesn't matter how incredibly smart the AI is, it's fundamentally constrained by the physical space available on this desk. The absolutely crucial takeaway here is that the AI can only analyze, reason with, and act upon the papers that are currently resting on that desk surface. Every system prompt you write, every piece of conversational history, every single instruction, think of each one as a sheet of paper landing on the workspace. If the paper is physically on the desk, the model can read it. If it's fallen off, it literally doesn't exist to the agent anymore.
Now, we've got to make a distinction between how a simple chatbot uses this desk versus how an autonomous agent uses it. With a standard chatbot, you've got a slow, very predictable back and forth. You ask a question, a piece of paper lands on the desk. The bot answers, another piece of paper lands. It's chill. But an autonomous agent's workflow? Vastly different. And frankly, way more chaotic. Instead of a casual conversation, an agent triggers a rapid avalanche of encyclopedias just getting dumped right onto the workspace.
So what's causing this avalanche? It's tool use. Every single time an agent autonomously uses a tool to gather info, it dumps the raw, unfiltered results directly back onto the desk. We're talking massive blocks of raw web search results, thousands of lines of unfiltered database query outputs, and incredibly dense external API tool returns. This fills up the surface area of our desk exponentially faster than a human conversation ever could. Which brings us to the lost in the middle effect, or the U-shaped attention curve. Let's see what happens when that desk starts to get completely buried.
When a desk gets too crowded, findings from the uploaded paper reveal a really severe lost-in-the-middle effect. It turns out models confidently handle the papers sitting at the very top of the pile and the ones at the very bottom. But if you have a vital instruction buried right in the center, the model's attention basically just glazes over it. When you actually map this out, recall accuracy forms a perfect U-shape. It's high at the start, high at the end, with this massive blind spot directly in the middle.
But is it just about the physical position of the paper in the pile? Actually, no. It's also about what's printed on it. We have to consider a metric called lexical density. This is basically the rate at which a context introduces distinct, really information-rich material. Intuitively, conversational text can be skimmed easily. But when the text dumped on the desk is highly dense, just packed with nonstop facts, code, or data, the model is forced to process nearly every single word, and that rapidly exhausts its attention capacity. The research paper illustrates this breakdown beautifully. In a low-noise environment, the model performs great, but then look at the drastic collapse in success rates. When the model is forced to find a needle in a high-density haystack of distractors, the agent's reasoning completely falls apart. You combine that lost-in-the-middle position with high lexical density, and the desk effectively becomes useless. Now, you might be wondering, hey, didn't we just develop models with massive context windows? Doesn't that solve it? Well, the data says no. The key takeaway here is that simply buying a bigger desk, expanding the context window to, say, 1 million tokens, doesn't magically solve the issue. Because of underlying architecture, a bigger context window just creates a much larger dead zone in the middle where your information is going to get ignored.
Let's look at the actual cost of overflow. What exactly happens when the desk just completely runs out of space?
Let's walk through a concrete consequence of an overflowing desk, a really dangerous phenomenon known as silent truncation. Imagine step 1. You give your agent a critical system rule, something like never touch the production database. That paper goes safely on the desk. Step 2. The agent executes 10 heavy tool calls, dumping huge piles of data everywhere. In step 3, the desk runs out of space, and older information is quietly pushed right off the edge to make room. There's no error message, no warning. The safety rule just falls into the trash. Finally, in step 4, the agent, now completely unaware of the rule, blindly accesses the production database. Absolute disaster.
So let's talk about triage and mitigation, keeping the workspace clean. To stop autonomous agents from making these catastrophic errors, engineers have to actively manage the desk using 3 primary strategies.
Strategy number 1 is summarization. Instead of keeping 100 pages of old conversation, the system periodically condenses them into a crisp one-page summary. It definitely frees up space. But the dangerous trade-off is something called summarization drift. Every single time you summarize, vital, low-frequency details are just slowly sanitized away. After a few days, the agent remembers a generic vibe of your conversation but entirely forgets the nuanced specifics.
Next up, we have trimming. And this is a much blunter instrument. Trimming keeps the desk clean by enforcing a really strict sliding window. When new papers arrive, you literally just throw the oldest papers directly into the trash. The obvious trade-off here is the complete irreversible loss of early interactions. Your agent will just straight up forget how the session even started, which is obviously terrible for long-running tasks. The third, and honestly the most robust fix, is selective retrieval. Rather than relying on arbitrary summaries or just raw chronological deletion, this system actively scores and re-ranks all the available papers. It ensures that only the top 3 to 5 absolutely most relevant documents are permitted to sit on the desk at any given moment. It essentially keeps the middle small so nothing gets lost. The trade-off? Well, it requires significant computational overhead, and it's really complex to build.
Which brings up a genuinely fascinating question about the architecture of truly autonomous agents. If we're constantly trimming, summarizing, and selectively retrieving, where do the actual papers go when they fall off the desk? I mean, they can't just disappear into the void if we expect these agents to work reliably for weeks at a time.
To function over days, weeks, or even months, an agent requires a hierarchical memory system. The papers that fall off the active desk must be securely stored in a filing cabinet. This acts as the agent's long-term memory. It functions essentially like a computer's hard drive, allowing the agent to page context in and out of its working memory only when it's actively needed to solve a specific problem. So it really makes you wonder, if an AI's reasoning is strictly bound by the physical limits of its working memory, can it ever truly understand a complex, overarching problem? Or is it basically just reacting to whatever paper happens to be right in front of it in that exact moment? Well, some of what falls off the desk needs to come back later. Next, how agents recall entire past sessions, not just facts. You won't want to miss it.